What's going on, you guys? Happy Thursday and welcome to the Royal Roundtable. Now, why am I calling it that? It's because you know this is time usually for Queen's Glean, which is the after conversation to King's Speak. But today, since we already killed it with season 2, 10 episodes of King's Speak, 10 episodes of Queen's Glean, we thought we would combine the panels, the shows together so we could have a real conversation for the season finale. So I'm so excited to be here. So glad you're here. Please share with a friend, grab a glass of wine, and get ready to join this incredible conversation. Yes, I love it. I see my people up in the chat already. Deacon 305, Mark Nash, you know we love to see it. So we got a full panel today, guys, and we're just going to have a fun conversation because why not? When you're connected to brilliant people, you know, you got to show off a little bit. So I'm going to just go in order of all the participants that I see. First up, we got Surrender Session. She's on the Queen's Glean. You guys know her as Keandra. Hey, boo. Happy Thursday.
Girl, I'm muted. You know, I must be a little rusty.
It's okay. It's been 3 weeks. You know how we do. We get on here when we can.
Happy Thursday.
Thank you. I'm so excited for everyone here. Girl, we got men on the panel tonight. This is the first time.
We got men. This will be good. I'm excited.
I love it. Well, I see Queen Cookie in the building. So love and good music. Spread it, watch it, and get into it. Queen Cookie.
Hey!
Woo-hoo!
I made it. What's up, ladies? How are you?
We're good.
Wonderful and lovely. How are you?
I'm doing well. Very excited for tonight.
I know, right? Well, I guess, you know, we started with the queens because this is our time in our show. We got the men in the house. So I'm going to give it up for Key Renee. I see you here in the building, girl. Miss Entrepreneur Everything. Y'all got to follow her. Hey, Will.
Hey, boo.
I'm just trying to sing sideways.
I'm so excited to see us all together.
Yay.
Yes, you know how we got to do it for the finale, season finale. So, you know, we all in the building.
Can y'all believe there was 20 episodes, 10 King's Speak, 10 Queen's Glean? 20?
Man,
No.
that went by so fast.
We've been
Super
consistent. Well, let's dive into it. We have special guests. You know, I had to bring the men on. They are men who have been interviewed in season 1 and or season 2. And I just honor them all. I think they're so brilliant. You guys know, because we talk about everything that they talk about. And we've learned a lot this season. So let's bring in some of the guys. I'm going to start with one of my friends. We go way back, New York style. He got the Rebel Camp, Mastermind Connect. Just an amazing person. Ocean Phoenix is here with us. Yeah.
Woo woo.
Hey.
All right, yeah, we're here to take over. The fellas are here to take over.
You know what?
Y'all get it together quickly.
Right. We're here for it. So let me get them up in here because we're about that life. So financial advisor, we go way back to like faux flats on a Cadillac. A financial advisor, Malik is in the building. Philly, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How the Queen doing?
Yes. And we have another friend of mine. We got linked up about a year ago because he's a famous actor. And I got to do the after show for a Netflix show that he's on. So y'all got to tune into that because it's been 1 year since it's aired. And when it came out, it was number 1 on Netflix. And we know how important that is. So give it up for Frank.
What's up? When you said famous, I was just like,
You famous, you better stop. And Nate will be joining us soon. He's having connection issues, but we got a full house. And this is cool. This is the first time I've ever done this. So we could just dive right into some conversation. So, okay, I see in the chat, we got Mark Nash, Deacon 305, you know, some of our regulars in here. So as I was looking at the clips, I felt like there was a through line to them, and it was a lot about detachment. And I don't want to like necessarily preface the combo with that. I know that's something that I've been working on personally. Oh, wait, here we go. We got Nate. Nate has got it together. I love it. YouTube channel just blowing up. What's up, Nate?
I'm in this thing. Hey,
Yes.
I don't know
Look
how
at-
to connect with nothing. I don't know how to do nothing over here.
What up, Nick?
I'm sorry, I'm late.
My man got the setup.
Yeah, right? I love it. Well, usually us girls, we start by first talking about y'all, but we always start with a cheers. So I don't know if y'all have your wine, but I got mine tonight because I was like, ooh, little something to just cheers with to a great conversation. I see you. Stay hydrated.
Yes.
So cheers to that. Mm-hmm. I've been skipping the wine, lately, but today I was like, we're going to do it. Okay, so we're going to dive into one of our first clips and just kind of get some feedback from you guys to see what you have to say about it. But I thought this would be a great starter. And this was from actually episode 10, Kingdom Thinking with Talib, who I met through you, Oshim.
Yes, that's my dude right there.
He's so good. Oh, my goodness.
Shout out to Talib.
He's so good. So here,
it's really about that commitment to what it is that you intend to create, what it is how it is you want to experience this life, and be committed to that. And that's the detachment part is that the episode of Wipeout. We can't know. We can't know how things will be received. We can't know how things will progress. But I'm a believer that as you manifest your vision will start to manifest you. You start doing things and you begin to meet people that you didn't know before that create a different experience for you or different outcome that you didn't expect going into a thing. You get a different opportunity. You get to go and experience something else that expands you, that elevates you. So then why limit yourself with your outcome?
Talib be spitting.
I mean, that is so good and to the point.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad you guys connected, though. Seriously, he was amazing.
Yeah, thank you for putting that together. So I would love to hear from the men commenting on the other men. So Oshim, since you know him, what did you think about what he had to say and then the power and value of, everything that Talib just shared with us?
Talib is, he's a prophet, man. He's a prophet. For me right now, I don't know why this word just popped up, but alignment. I've just been focusing on alignment. A brother that I follow on Facebook he said, I don't manifest anymore, I align. And that kind of like changed my whole mindset because, we already have what we need. It's just getting in alignment with what God has in store for us. So, I love everything that Talib has to say. He's an amazing brother who he calls himself advisor to the throne. So he advises kings and queens. So I love everything that he has to say, and I agree with it. But for me, the word that popped up when he was talking was just getting in alignment. And that's what I've just been focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. Queen Cookie, do you want to piggyback on that?
Oh, okay, Jaimi, you shooting tonight, right at me?
Yeah, you were engaged. I was like, oh, does she have something?
Oh, okay. Well, I always got something to say. No, but hey, everybody, happy to be here. No, that's always, super powerful. I think with anybody who finds something that maybe they're a little bit more fearful of doing. And then, like he said, once you step into that, it's almost like, even like Oshim says, that alignment just sort of happens for you. It just sort of like creates for you. You just kind of have to go after it. And that's, I think, the hardest thing to do is push past that fear sometimes, right? And push past those things or, those little voices in your head that say, don't do it. But once you do, and once you're in it, it's like you're locked in and everything works together to make that happen for you. And that's when that alignment happens, like Oshim said. So it's a beautiful and powerful thing. When you're in it, and you always know when you're out of it too. I always know when I'm out of balance. I always know when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You feel it. You feel like drained, and I know that that's not life. How life is not here to drain you. So when you're in that space, you're not walking in your alignment at all.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So what are some of the things that you guys do to reel yourself back in when you're you're falling out of alignment. What are some of your indicators that you're falling out of alignment, and how do you kind of pick yourself back up from that? And that could be for anybody.
I leave group messages.
What kind of group messages?
I leave group messages. Whenever I feel like I'm getting out of line, and my friends don't ever understand, they think I'm mad at them. But because since we're getting so many group messages now, everybody has so many different opinions. And sometimes we don't realize when other opinions are really impressionable on us, not even trying to follow their thoughts or their leads. So that now at times I get to question my own thoughts because everybody else is talking about this, or they may question this. So it's like, let me leave, get back connected with what God needs and God wants for me. And even what Ocean was saying, just to piggyback off of him, like when you get into that alignment, and he said something about how the right people just are starting to come to your life. What I've been noticing, not only the right people are coming into your life, but you start slowly taking away some of the people that you thought that was originally in that alignment with you. And even some people that you already had relationships with, maybe it was a high school friend, an old college friend that you really didn't connect with at that time. But now it's like, wow, I'm actually really connected to this individual because I'm walking back into where I really was supposed to be walking, and they're walking in that alignment as well. So I see a lot of old friends coming into my life like, wow, we could have connected a long time ago, but maybe it was just a sports, friend, and we didn't really get deep. But that's something that I'm witnessing. So I kind of just want to add that one too.
I think the thing that's so beautiful about alignment is that it's an attractor. Like, I think that's both what Nate and Ocean are talking about, is it attracts the good people who are supposed to be with you and repels those who aren't. And that can be in anything. That could be the job, the opportunity, the vibe, whatever it is. And so I know for me personally, when I'm out of alignment, I'm in a place of where I'm trying to force something. And so it's like I'd have to take a moment and step back and try to figure out, why am I trying to, force and strive? Like, there's times when, it requires effort, but when it becomes where it just almost feels like I'm exerting too much and I'm not getting anything in return, that's usually the indicator for me that, like, okay, something's off. Maybe it's my own energy, where I'm putting something out subconsciously, or maybe it's just not even the thing that I should be, going after. And so taking a moment to get present and just really just surrendering and allowing myself to get back, aligned really, and just get recalibrated so that I can attract the right thing to me.
Yeah, I love that you said that. It just reminded me something I just went through. Because, we learn all this stuff and we read all this stuff. And ladies, we've talked about it on the show, but it's a different thing to implement it. And it's not until like the rubber meets the road, or you've dove into a relationship or into something new or whatever it is that kind of tests these grounds for you. And I can tell that, I'm learning and growing, because I had that moment a couple of days ago where I just felt stuck. Like, it's not like I don't have things to do. It's not like, there aren't things on the list to do and whatnot, but that feeling when you're just not in it. I just couldn't find that space to get my groove. Mm-hmm. So the old me would have definitely forced it and needed to come up with a solution by the end of the day to, like, what I'm doing. Well, girl, at least get something done, or at least just hard on myself. Like, okay, you might not know what you need to do, but you need to do something. But instead I was like, I called my neighbor, sat by the pool, had a glass of wine, watched something. Like, I unplugged, and it was actually what I needed. And the next day I felt like I could actually get up and make some kind of move. So it was nice to relieve myself of that pressure, because Nate, I think you just talked about it. We don't know how many of these ideas in our head are our own until we examine them, I guess, or until something feels off and funny. So it's just, all of the hustle culture stuff that we hear that makes us feel like we need to be doing something. I was just kind of like, no, this time I'm going to try the opposite and literally do nothing and be okay with it. And that actually felt like alignment, because I felt like I was in my zone at that point, instead of chipping away at myself or something, so.
Yeah, you gotta sit still sometimes. We have to learn how to sit still now, because social media sometimes convinces you that you need to be doing something because you're watching all 150, 200, 1,000 of your friends. Oh, I'm in Cabo. Oh, I'm hustling, son. Now it's crypto, and now you like, I need to be doing something. I'm not doing anything, and sometimes doing nothing is doing something. And just quickly, like today, I decided instead of hustling in front of a screen all day, I was going to go have lunch with a friend that I've known for 20 years, and it created 3 opportunities today. And I said, let me just be. I ran into somebody who's like, yeah, I want to invest in your client. I ran into another person like, oh yeah, I got a thing for you. And I'm just like, whoa, I didn't plan any of this, but it's just going with that flow. And I think that sometimes social media, and I'm going to land the plane here, but sometimes social media gives me, and I'm guilty of this, it'll give me that anxiety, like I'm not doing enough. I need to be doing something. And I had to learn to just sit my ass still or do something that's good for my soul and doesn't require obscene amounts of brain power or energy.
Yeah, and that's nuts because you overproduce. I don't understand how you do it. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's like that's great. I don't know if I could ever be Ocean Phoenix. I don't think the bandwidth. Yeah, I don't understand. But Frank, I want to ask you, since we were talking about social media, you're an actor. So how do you balance walking in alignment and making sure that you're not swayed to the left and right by all of these things and that you're following your plan? Because I know in entertainment, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that's been a helper for me is, well, 2 things. One thing is when I'm on social media, if I'm going to post or create or whatever I'm going to do, it needs to be something that I genuinely want to put out there, not try to put out there for like tactic. I mean, there is some tactic and strategy to it, but that shouldn't be the sole anchor. And then the second thing is the comparison game. That's something I had to really wrestle through and get beat up through until I got past it, like maybe 2-3 years ago. I can't compare myself to other people, other actors, because, they might be posting, oh, just book this, this show's about to premiere, whatever the case is. They're only posting what they want you to see. And that's their choice and everything, but it's not the full story. So I can't compare myself like, okay, they got 3 things going, or they doing this many things, and I'm only doing 1 or 2. That's going to derail me from my path and my journey because I'm too busy trying to do what they're doing. Just staying focused. So yeah, the 2 things I do is just, if I'm going to create content and post, make sure it's something that I genuinely want to put out there. And then the second thing is just don't compare myself. And that's easier said than done sometimes, but that's essentially what I do.
Yeah, I love it. That makes sense. It's subconscious. If you're not aware of what you're doing, then
it's easy. It's so easy to get swept up in that. So easy.
Okay, I'm gonna try this thing where one of y'all's talking and see if I can zoom in on your face.
Oh, hell no.
I just wanted to do Key Renee, I know you just got back from travels and doing anything. How are you feeling, and how do you feel like you're able to stay in alignment when it comes to traveling so much and dealing with different clients, but then coming home to recharge and like get back to your other stuff? Because you have a few different things on your plate. So
Yeah, I dance on my countertops. You guys saw it. Yeah. You feel me? I do things that you shouldn't be doing. But no, I do like this feature, get my whole moment.
I know, I was like, this is
but honestly, I hike a lot, and hiking helps me recharge, and just traveling, going places like by myself sometimes for like a couple of days, and like not taking my laptop, not taking anything, and sometimes even leaving my phone charger so my phone can die. That's like how I recharge, because like I just literally came to Houston and me and Jaimi had lunch or dinner.
We did. And it was so good.
It was so bomb. And I was just, telling her how like the past 2 months, I haven't even been filming my show because I had like a whole like blockage where I got, in my feelings because I couldn't edit an episode the way I wanted to edit my show, and I'm a perfectionist, and it blocked my whole mental state for 2 months. And I had told her I just need to start hosting again. I'm tripping, I'm traveling, I'm still doing all this other stuff, but my block on producing my show, hosting my show, it just left, but flying to Houston, eating with Jaimi, it unblocked me, so it's things like that too, just going and being around people who are positive and who have positive energy, those are all the things that I do. Yeah. So you unblocked me,
I
girl.
love it. Yes. No, we really had fun, and I needed that conversation too. I needed to get out, and obviously I realized like all y'all know me, and it's like from New York to LA to whatever, like I'm used to kicking it. And I think it came to the point where I had to get real with myself. Like, okay, yeah, you were affected by COVID. You're not even, who are you? Like, I'm having the same blockage and trying to understand, because just getting out and being with my friends was so much of what keeps me going. It is reciprocal energy. Like, as great as people might think I am, I'm only a reflection of really what I'm getting from the people closest to me and willing to give me. And I value that high. So, same girl, and we were able to unblock each other. Malik, you be out here in Houston too.
Yeah, that's my third
Trying to
home.
drag me out.
I love Houston. Houston will unblock you. Anytime you got a problem, go to Houston.
Come through. Oh, speaking of, Keandra will be here tomorrow.
Houston to do that. But no, I just stay in alignment because I just know who I am. I mean, Jaimi, you know me 11, 12 years. I stay consistent because I'm not trying to compete with nobody else. You know, I know what my crew does, and I know what we do on the level. And I don't have the most money. I know I don't have the biggest car. I know I don't have these things. So I don't want to be or trying to portray like I'm somebody else. I know who I am inside here, you know, and I know what I bring to the table is social equity. It's places and things that I've done for people that have a lot of money, but they don't have access. And I have access. So that's I think relationships are like currency waiting to get cashed in. So I just use those relationships like currency and just cash them in when I need to cash them in. So you just have to know who you are, and don't like the other gentleman said, don't worry about what people fake lives is on social media. So half the time they're not moving how they say they're moving anyway. You know, they could be in a Ferrari, but you know, sleeping on the air mattress. You don't know what they housing looking like. You know, can't put gas in the car. Like, I know how these dudes play out here. So as long as you know who you are and stay focused on what you do and be great at what you do, everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is gonna come into fruition.
Not the air mattress.
Hey, listen.
It'd be worse than an air mattress.
Fraud and Gerard. They from Fraud and Gerard out here in these streets. I'm telling you.
No, I love it. That's very true. I think that's another thing that we all have in common is all you guys do a great job of just being yourselves, and to watch you carve out your lanes and all of your work online. Like, even if we don't have time to support each other, like all the way, like I see it. Like every last one of you guys are knee deep into doing what you're doing, and it shows, and it's unique, and it's evolved, because I've known most of you for a long time. So just to see the growth is really amazing. Nate, I see you going in talking about crypto, and Mike, you mentioned it. I just need a side note on the crypto. What is going on? I mean, I low-key feel like it's gonna be all right, but what are your thoughts? Just as an aside.
Oh, it's gonna be all right. They just trying to scare the new investors out. But kind of jumping off of what you guys have been saying about competing with people on social media and content and being strategic and putting out what you really want to put out to help people. What has helped me is I had that anxiety that you were talking about, Frank, like competing with other people, always wanting to do so much. As you know, Jaimi, I do so many different things. I could sit here for an hour and tell you guys about 12 different things that I do. But when it came to the content, and even you were talking about it, Kiera, when you're talking about the blockage, like I always get that, because I always get on here like, what do these people need to hear, right? Like I need to know what they need to hear. And so when I started realizing that all these people is fake, all these people are living on mattresses, all these people aren't really doing the stuff that they're doing, because I'm watching them, I'm following them, I'm listening to the advice that they're giving, and then I'm like, hold on, y'all missed out a lot of very, very key points. And so back in, I used to work with Neutrogena, and when I was working with Neutrogena, I was into the crypto game at that time, but at that time I knew I needed to be more on YouTube. I need to be talking to the people. And when they let us go at the end of January, and from then I said, you know what, God, I'm not going to worry about views. I'm not going to worry about the SEO optimization of YouTube. I'm not going to worry about any of this. I'm just going to serve. And at that time, again, I was deep in crypto, but I was very humble about my knowledge that I had, because I knew it's so big and so massive. I'm hesitant to give people information. I'm hesitant to tell people to invest. I'm hesitant in all these different areas, but I'm starting to see people get confused and get tricked in different ways. I'm like, wait, time out. I need to go serve. And so I just started making videos just to help people with the basics, not like, I don't know what this is going to go to, what this is going to go to, but just to understand what crypto is, where we're going with this whole thing. And just with that, like, God has been just sending me subscribers, followers, viewers, and people. Like, the most humblest thing was, like, I had a post that 100 posts, right? And the reason why I did this video is because there was something that I was trying to do that I couldn't figure out, was on YouTube, on Google, trying to figure out this one thing, could not figure it out, but I just figured it out on my own. I said, I'm just gonna make a video to help people. And everyone's just like, thank you so much. I've been trying to figure this out. And so to wrap all that up, on the social media, just put out what you actually are. Just serve. That's why I'll just tell you, just serve. God's gonna bring you to the people who actually need those things. But with crypto, that's where our world is going right now. It's the wild, wild west because everything is so new. But it's so critical right now because we are about to go into an adoption phase where I believe personally, on the conspiracy side, they're allowing all of this craziness to happen, all these people to lose money, the drops and all that. So they have to force in some type of regulation. So I tell people, be hesitant as you're investing, be very smart as you're investing, read into the currencies, read into the coins deeper to understand the tech. Because when we're investing in the crypto, we're really investing into the technology behind the coin. Understand how that can make our world a better place on a logical standpoint. Where this can fit into society, where can it actually benefit? They're not all going to be here. We had a bunch of companies in the .com boom, and we got Facebook, Amazon, Google. We got our big dogs. It's the same game right now. So I just tell people, be cautious everywhere they go, everywhere you trying to turn right now. But everything's fine right now. They just trying to scare people. We still got a lot of time to run for a couple more months.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for that. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm new to all the space, but whatever. I knew that if I got into it, I was going to play the long game. So I'm not afraid of a dip. I went in with that mindset.
Yeah.
So whatever. Anyway, that was just an aside. Mike, are you on that? Are you hearing, or Oshim, have you been hearing anything about that? Are you on it or what? You're on mute. Unmute. Oh, there we go.
The thing. I don't even know how to unmute myself on a video. I had to switch to my phone because my computer crashed, but I'm in no way like a crypto advisor or expert. It's actually pretty new to me as of like December. My buddy Vernon Jones, who you know as well, and you've done some work with. Vernon is like Tesla level, like he's Elon Musk level. He's a brilliant man. And he had this idea, because he's been in real estate for almost 20 years, to create the first digital token on the blockchain backed by affordable housing.
Oh my God, that's genius.
It's absolutely genius. And it literally, he hit me up because he knows I build communities. That's what I do. I build communities. And I'm sorry if you hear that sound in the background. That's my son playing maracas, because he's waiting for me to put him.
Hey, let him get right.
He's living his best life. Playing maracas at 9:30 when he's supposed to be asleep.
I mean,
so that has been a phenomenal thing. And also there's another part of it called Equity Stream, which is going to allow people to start affordable housing projects and raise money, start their own tokens on that stream. So it's pretty brilliant. We had some love on Black Enterprise. We had like the #1 article on Black Enterprise in February. We had a lot of in-reach. We're actually headed to Miami tomorrow to do like a big company shoot and do some things in Miami and have a meeting. So it's been really taken off, and I love it because he doesn't have to do this. He could just sell like commercial properties and make his millions, but he really cares about the people and cares about, everybody having access to affordable housing, because there is an affordable housing crisis right now in America. Max, can you 1 second? Okay, I love you. You need about 7 million homes right now to fill that gap in the United States of America, and that's a lot of people. So most people are living paycheck to paycheck, and he's doing something about it. So he brought me in to build community and plug people in and educate people about Equity Coin. So it's equitycoin.org. You can check out the information for yourself. So that's just one of my clients of what I do. But it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I want to pick on back on that real quick because, like, when I started telling my friends to get into it, I kept telling people, don't be so focused on making the millions in the stuff that we see. There's so much more to crypto. It's not just a currency. It's not like the stocks where you're just making money. It's a whole new world that is coming. There's going to be so many things that this technology can actually create to make our world a better place. It's not just money. It's not just a currency. There's so many more things. So again, learn what blockchain technology is. A whole industries are going to be built out of this. Businesses are going to be built out of this. There's so many ways to make money. Like he just expressed, follow that man. He knows what you're talking about.
Yes.
I love that. That's so true. And I feel like I don't know everything, but I'm learning. But I feel like, owning the blockchain is kind of like the big thing. Have the currency, but if you are invested in where it's being mined at, I think that that's a good thing. But whatever, I'm still learning about it too, slowly but surely. But it's very interesting and seems to be where we're headed. So thanks for sharing that. And for sharing that about Vernon too. I got to get in on that because he's feeling a need and he's a brother. Like, hello.
Yeah,
I feel like one of you guys might know something about this. I personally want to learn more about NFTs.
Oh yeah.
And getting into that market. So I mean, if anyone knows, slide in my message box with the information.
I got you.
Say this, and maybe Nate can probably speak more to this, but I literally just read an article about these guys who they sold a meme for $100,000. And it was just a meme of them wearing tight ass pants.
It's nothing.
It went viral.
That's nothing. No disrespect. Yeah. There's been a lot sold for millions of dollars. When we look at NFTs, we have to look at it as the art of the internet. So not just these pictures and these random memes. Think about all content creation, music. Think about everything. With the NFTs, it's considered a non-fungible token. Okay. So when you have an NFT, you are the only one that has that NFT, and you can create a smart contract and you can create royalties for that. You can decide how it is. And then whenever someone else uses that, reproduces that, then you are getting paid. So think about, like you just expressed, somebody created a meme. Right now, when someone, let's say I create a meme, I ain't got no followers or nothing, right? But it's the funny meme that goes viral. But then eventually Snoop Dogg picks it up or one of these celebrities pick it up. I never really get credit for that meme. Now I can put that meme onto this blockchain and then I get credit for that. You think about photographers who are putting their pictures, beautiful pictures on Instagram. Yes, they're valuable, but people could just take it right off of Instagram and reproduce that image. If you put it on the blockchain, now you always control the ownership of that asset. So it could be videos. It can be, you can have LeBron James' last shot to win the NBA finals. That's a valuable thing that you can sell now to ESPN instead of them just taking it from you and them just getting paid off for the ratings. So with NFTs, it's deep. It's a lot happening. But that's a space that, again, that's giving everything back to the people right now. Like, and that's why I'm telling people, get into it. Be the first one on the blockchain selling your content on the NFTs, and people have already been doing it. But again, that's why I tell people it's so much more than just Bitcoin, the money, making the money on the stock market. There's so many different ways to make money. Last one real quick. Think about domains. Like when the .com boom happened, a lot of people were buying domains at first and they were reselling those domains. Right now, there's crypto domains. So I just bought a domain, royalnate.crypto. But there's people who are buying crypto.crypto or popular type of sayings that people eventually are going to want to rebuy those things. So domains is another thing that I would look into now. Start buying those for cheap. Eventually, one day you may be able to sell it for a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I guess NFTs, what would be comparable to that is like when you go to those high-end art shows, art and jewelry, and they have their certificates and people bid on them. You can bid on them and things like that. So yeah, some of these little basic things, I'm talking about a cat jumping out of a hat with a rainbow behind it. It's like $6 million. And you're like, okay, I could draw too. I'm going to draw something and, or whatever, but it's cool.
Like for an example, another little example. I saw someone creating an NFT of the Bible. So they have everything listed the Bible as an NFT. It's very, very cheap that they're selling them right now. But eventually, again, that's going to be the only one that has all the King James Bible verses. Every time they get reproduced, somebody's going to get paid. So like that's the creativity. Again, maybe you didn't get in on a certain coin at a certain time to make X amount of dollars, but there's so many other ways. And that's why I just tell people, start learning now. This is the beginning. It's been here for 10 years, but this is the beginning that our world is starting to really accept it. Governments are going to start making regulations and things are going to start moving. So start learning now.
Man, y'all got me pulling up 3-4 tabs. Everything y'all saying that I don't know, I'm just up here typing it like, all right, I'm gonna look that up later.
Like I'm
Yeah.
literally right now in my notes. I'm trying to find. There's a NFT site right now where you can go and buy packs of like NBA cards and stuff, and you can like hold them and sell them. When I find it, it's in my notes. I'm gonna say what it is. You guys can go on to that site too.
Yep, those are going like Patrick Mahomes. Someone sold one of those for like $40,000.
Yeah.
So think about trading cards. Now it's everything on our world is just gonna go digital in that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is so important for like, especially Black people to know, because we create so much content and are really usually at the forefront of, you know, a lot of even just these different challenges on TikTok and, you know, just all the different things that become hot. Like we're the ones who actually started. So if we understand how to actually protect, you know, protect what we're creating, almost like our own intellectual property, and be able to get the residual income back from that. Like that's a game changer. That really is a game changer. So I think this education is key, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know either. I definitely didn't know it was this intense. So appreciate y'all for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then letting people know, like conversations like this,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I've been actually spending a lot of time researching that stuff, and I know, Nate, that you're on it, but it just, I don't want there to be any excuses as to why a certain level of generational wealth is not available to my family, regardless of the past, regardless of, you know, I honor everything, but at the same time, like, let me get on these tools. This whole money thing is an intelligence. It's an energy. Like, wealthy people be the first to tell you, like, money ain't real. This is I don't want to say a game, but like low key.
It's a game. It's
Aw.
always a monopoly. Who can play the game Monopoly the best in America?
I'm down to put my bids in. I'm gonna go to a second clip just to get, but you know, thank you guys so much for your input, not only on that, but on alignment and how you move through things. I'm just gonna pick a random clip. You know what? Oh, Shim, I might have to you're gonna have to watch yourself talk. It might be a little weird, but it just seems like it's time to hit this redefining yourself moment because it was important. So here we go.
I don't need to be guarded because I'm protected.
There you go.
I shed whatever, at the end of the night, I shed everything. Sometimes things affect me and get to me, but I never allow it anymore to change who I am, because I work so hard at redefining myself. And I'm learning from the new people in my life. I'm learning a lot of new things because I'm open to it. I trust those people. You know, they have my best interests in mind. So,
yes. Okay, technicals. There we go. Yes, you know what? I love that because Oshim, I still say that to myself. I don't have to be guarded because I'm protected. I can relax. And I know, Keandra, you know, we've had that conversation before where it's just like, even as women, I know men have their particular threats that they go out into the world with, but you know, for us women, the list gets high too. And we be protecting ourselves from jobs, other women, ridicule, men, all of these things. And it does put this survival instinct in you where you don't even think you're being closed off or affected by anything, but you know, it's a pile up of feeling the need to protect. So you don't have to guard if you're protected.
Absolutely. And I don't know if it was just for me, but I couldn't see the whole clip. It like froze up for me. So I think my internet has been trashed today because
it's not just you. Mine did it too.
Okay. I literally, it only started the beginning and then it froze. So I didn't get a chance to hear like all of what the clip is. So I apologize.
Oh no.
I missed it.
No, it's okay. He was just saying that, you know, when you're protected, you don't need to be guarded. And, you know, being around people that can speak into you, especially when you're redefining yourself and coming to a space where you're okay with being vulnerable and open with who you're around because you trust the information that they're going to pour into you. So It was just a little thing about that, a little blurb. Does anybody have anything that they've gone through in the past couple of weeks, or was kind of like an aha moment for you, or kind of like a shift in your thinking where you're like, okay, wow, now I can implement what I've been learning thus far? Let me get Mike back in here.
Well, I mean, I can share. I go to like weekly therapy, right? And like just barely last week, I had like a new therapist, and girl be working. But I barely finally started telling her the truth. Like I was like, you know what? Let me just start telling you the truth. I mean, you feel me? I've been lying to you this whole time, girl. Let me just really, I'm paying for you. Let me just go ahead and like start actually telling you some things, like But I feel like when I did, that was an aha moment for me, because actually like telling the truth to someone and like getting like the proper feedback, where instead you're just like, oh, girl, I'm good. But that was like an aha that, sometimes you do just got to tell the truth. And, sometimes you do just got to you got to be more transparent, like, and it made me want to be more transparent. Not with everybody, because I'm letting you know right now, I ain't telling everybody everything. But just like in certain situations, you just want to, it made me be like, it's be more transparent in what's going on, and you'll probably get the result you were actually looking for, and not the one that is like the facade, like, And everyone should go to therapy too. I believe in black people going to therapy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, since we talking about therapy, the same thing. Like I just started myself, and one of the things that my counselor has me doing, and I got it here on my little notes, is he has me every day. I do a physical check-in, my emotional state, what triggered the emotional state, the thoughts I had during that, and then the behaviors and outcomes. And in doing that, it kind of helps me see, okay, this is where this part of the day I'm more productive. This part of the day I might get into a little, deep, heavy lull or something like that. What triggered that? Oh, I need to figure out what triggered that, and maybe offset that by doing things to, kind of pull me out of that. And then in evaluating that every day, you can kind of start figuring out where your I forgot the word he said, but just kind of like footholds. That's not what he said, but just kind of where your footholds is. And then you can be more aware of it when your emotional state changes. And another technique that or tool that he gave me was something that he calls Give Me 5. And it's where you breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds, and then repeat that 4 more times for a total of 5. And, when I do that, it feels like, if you ever seen any of like the superhero movies, when you got the super fast people like Quicksilver or Flash or something, and they go in normal speed, but everything else goes slow. That's what it kind of feel like. Once you kind of do that, to slow yourself down, to slow your thought patterns down, and then you can kind of be at a more resetted state. So, or I don't know if resetted is a word, but it's a word now.
It is now.
But so, I agree with what she said as well. Like there's always been a negative stigma with counseling or therapy, especially for us. And I'm glad that over the last 2-3 years, that stigma is slowly getting broken down. So now it's like becoming more normal to do that. So yeah. And I struggled too for a little bit at the beginning. I'm just like, I'm not used to telling it's only like 2 people that know all my business. And I just met you. I'm not about to tell you I'm a business, but like he was saying, the more vulnerable and the more you talk, the more work we can do. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I love those, tips and tools. It's things that we don't think about it. In season 2, we had an interview with Brandon Alexander, and it was titled The Mindful Man. And that was kind of a question during that, like, how do men slow down? I know as humans, we're all the same, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes you guys have a different level of pressure to produce and to provide and all of these things. So I could imagine, if I was a dude, like, what you mean slow down? I can't. I'm the one, I got to take care of everything. I can't slow down. That doesn't even make sense. But, there's a lot of value in that. So I like those exercises. I like how you were able to depict that being like the, moving like the Flash and everything around you is slow, but catching up with that. I mean, I'm learning and working the same thing, even for me to like not do nothing for a day because I'm confused and not having to figure that out. Like, this is I don't need a trophy or a cookie anymore, but I'm just saying, if you want to give me one, it's definitely warranted. You got a question in the chat,
Right.
Frank. Are you married with children?
No kids. Married, yes. No kids, though. Not yet.
Okay, married, no kids. But Mark was asking, he says, because I don't find time between running my business, my household, and being a husband and father.
Mm.
I mean, again, yeah.
I'm gonna recommend him a book. The guy that just asked the question is called "Relax More, Try Less: The Easy Path to Abundance."
Oh, you got that, Mark?
It tells you how, like Henry Ford said, he'd rather have 1% of 100 people than 100% of himself. So it's delegating. It's how you do all of that. And I'm not married with kids, so I'm not a expert on that. But I'm just saying, it's just like I do a lot, but I also delegate a lot.
Yeah, I'm even learning that, delegating.
Yeah.
You got something on that, Queen Cookie?
Oh, and I was going to say, like, we use this term at my job every day, delegate to elevate. It's just simple. Whenever my boss sees me, like, my face, like, all stressed out, he's like, what are you not delegating down that you're not above your team right now? And so you have to just be above at all times. And sometimes that means somebody below you has to do something. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I'm always like, oh, let me do it. But that's not how it works. You literally, in order to come outside of it, you literally have to not be in the mud. You have to come above it. So that's just a term we use every single day, literally.
And that's how you take your 2-hour lunch breaks, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to do boss status stuff. So, like, being a leadership mindset is like having a basketball in your hand. And you being a leader, you have so much coming at you like a waterfall. And you have to know how to say no to this, yes to this, no to this. So you have to have things. It's called the speed of trust. You have to have things and trustworthies in your mindset to knock things off and push things to this or delegate to that. And it's not that the person is beneath you. You're trying to pull them up. So I want you to accomplish this so I can put you on the next level. So you can take my job and then I'm going to take his job.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can even tell with this, even with this show, I'm going to need to delegate. I'm going to have to get some help because, it's what makes sense, and to function at the level that you want to function at and to take things where they want to go. Like, it took me a long time to realize that I don't have to do everything by myself. I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know. I was like, if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. What are we doing? Like, it's all on me.
Factors. You have to have trust in the person that you're delegating to.
Mm-hmm.
One of my this guy that I work with, the best advice he gave me when I was overwhelmed on a project, he said the best thing that you can do is fire yourself and then rehire yourself, right? So that whole, like, I like what you said, elevate. Would you say elevate?
Delegate to elevate.
I had a call with my team today because we got. Thank you, son. That's my son right there, by the way, guys. That's Max.
Hi, Max.
So we kind of got, the client was like, he was like, I don't understand what's happening. What's going on? And I said, I was trying to take on too much at a time, and instead of delegating the responsibility, we kind of dropped the ball. I'm just being very transparent. And I remember the advice that same person gave me 10 years ago. He said, the best thing that I did was fire myself and rehire myself. Now he stays on a balcony. Barbecuing every day, just calling shots in flip-flops from a balcony in Miami. And he has everybody else doing the grunt work that he used to do. And it allows him more time to make more money, to be with his family, take personal trips, etc. So I'm learning how important delegation is. So thank you for the book suggestion, Malik. I appreciate that. I'm gonna check it out.
And it's a short, easy read because you recommended it.
I even think about how that can apply for. Oh, I think we were talking at the same time. Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, I was thinking about how that can also apply to women who are in the home. Because I know for me, I can relate to you, Jaimi, where I feel like I've always had to do everything. I got to cook, keep the house clean, work out, volunteer, do my job, do my business, take care of the dog, like all the things. And we forget how to actually ask for help and tap into our village. And so sometimes that help actually means we may have to pay for it. And for those who can, I don't think that there's any shame in helping, if you can afford getting a house cleaner or even having your groceries delivered, or, just a lot of those things that, yes, you're capable of doing it, but sometimes in some seasons in life, that's your help. And there's no shame in that, So I was just seeing how that also can relate in a way of being able to delegate some of those just normal everyday things that it's like, yes, I can do it, but I can also use my time a little bit better and maybe spend it, with others or, in a more productive or even just for leisure and just to rest if I can delegate that out.
I've been quiet because I've been listening and learning from all you guys, because this subject in and of itself is one of my biggest, I guess, characteristics I need to work on. Lately, I've been telling myself, you need to become a CEO, because I don't know how to delegate. And like you were saying, it's all about trust. I have not had that trust. I was the individual in college who I was an athlete, so everybody was cheating on everybody's test. I wouldn't cheat on people's tests just because I trusted that my answers were better than whoever I was cheating off of, right? That's kind of how my mind is. So even now, I've done so many things. I've learned how to edit. I learned how to be on the mic. I've learned all the sound equipment. I learned all that stuff because when I do want to delegate, I want to make sure I know that you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing, so you can have somewhat of a understanding. So it was good for me because I've learned so much, but I'm at that point where I kind of don't trust anybody. And at the same time, it's like, I got to get to that point of understanding how to manage money, managing paying somebody, understanding exactly, do I need this person for this or do I need it for that? Which one is most important? That's the place that I'm at. So like he said, I thank you for that book recommendation. I'm really going to pick that up. And that's the hurdle that I'm at in life right now to take me from here to wherever else I want to go. That's literally where I'm at. Thank y'all for all that.
I love it. And I muted everybody. Sorry, just wanted to let you know because the feedback. But go ahead, Malik.
Well, it's just you have to do things like when I first started at the firm 13 years ago, they said the first thing you need to do is hire an assistant. If it's not an income producing activity, you don't need to do it. You don't need to be filing paperwork. You don't need to be putting data entry into the computer. Anything that's not an income producing activity, I don't do it. Ladies, I know you guys like to shop and go to Target, and I'm not in no grocery stores. I'm not at Target. I'm not at Walmart. It's all getting delivered. It's taking time away from me making money going to make those errands for me, So I have to do what I can do, and it has to be an income producing activity for me. So I have a nanny I'm not a nanny, but a maid that comes to my house. I'm not cleaning up this whole house. I'm not, there's things that I'm just not doing. Like, I'd rather just pay her because she's great at what she does. So I just believe in paying people that are great at what they do, and you stay great at what you do, and you make the money the way that you make it.
Respect.
That's so crazy that you said that. I'm the same way. And as a woman, I think that's looked at negatively. The other day, there was this man talking to me, and he was like, do you know how to cook? Or why don't you cook? I was like, because I don't have time for it. Like, I'd rather be doing other things in that 2 to 3 hours that I could be cooking and cleaning and doing all those things. I'm very much current, with the times woman. I send everything out. I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't do any of that. That doesn't make me less of a woman. It's just that's the way my mindset is. Like, I want to be spending money doing other things. I don't want to be doing laundry and slaving over things. But to men, sometimes they don't think that. Now I'm not that homemaker type woman. I'm not a wife material. I'm like, no, I don't want to be at home with the kids. Like, no, that's not who you're marrying. If you marry me, I'm sorry. Like, that's just not who I am. It's not how I'm built. And so, it's a little difficult sometimes when you are considered to be the feminine in the relationship. Like, you have to do these things. And, when I come from a different world, like, that's just not how my mindset works. And so that's funny that you brought that up, Malik. I just, from a man's perspective, when a woman is not domestic because she thinks that domestication is taking time away from other things, it's not that I can't be domestic. I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I know how to do all those things, but that's time consuming. I'd rather be traveling. I'd rather be doing other things. I'd rather be like out with my friends having a good time while whoever is out there doing my laundry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's just who I am.
And there's nothing wrong
Nothing
with
to
that.
apologize for.
Ain't nothing wrong, girl. I ain't
No,
cooking
men
clean
think men
either,
think
but I
it's
sure
so
will cook for
wrong.
someone else.
Men find it so wrong that, like, I
I
don't
think-
cook. I'm like, I'm not gonna cook. I'm not gonna cook. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cook.
I think the wrong men find it wrong because I love to cook. I don't like cleaning baseboards and window. I don't like that, But he should be able to cook for you, or y'all cook together. Y'all or go to sushi classes together, learn how to roll sushi together. Just things that are fun and bring things together, like So like a lot of dudes out here be frauding, man. Like I really, really, really like they do. They just be you don't cook, you don't cook. Like your mom didn't teach you how to cook, like
Uber Eats.
So like cook for your lady, like because it's times where I'm tired, babe. I'm gonna cook your meal. I don't feel like going out tonight. Got some wine and a nice meal going on. So it's just like they should be domesticated just like you should.
Exactly.
What you mean? I know how to cook, man. I know how to put Roman noodles and cheese and hot sauce together. We good.
Yeah, hot sauce. Ain't that the last thing you put on it?
No, I think that whole discussion in and of itself, like Keith was saying, bro, that narrative is kind of overly pushed and it's kind of misconstrued in a lot of ways. It really comes down to balance. Like, if a man is at work all day working and you are at home, then yeah, he expects you to be at home cooking. If you are out getting money too and he's out getting money too and you get home, it's not, okay, now you have to cook for me. We both were out at work. So it's just about balance. Everybody's different. You may find a man who is the one at home. My father was at home for a good period of our high school lives. And my mama was the one who was at the daycare, owning the daycare, bringing all the money in, just because that's just how it worked out that way. So my dad, he was the one at home. He was cooking. He was the one cleaning, making sure that all of our homework was done, making sure that we had, the scholarship lane was coming. Like, he was the one that was at home doing all that, all those duties. So when it comes to this whole domestication and all that, it's just about balance. It's about when you love somebody, you're just going to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if you're somebody who's on the streets and you making money, like, no, you should not come home and then still have to cook and do all that. Y'all probably got enough money to pay somebody to do all that. So again, like Malik was saying, like, it's all about, those are the insecure little boys. That's why I've been calling them lately, because there's a difference, there's a big difference in the society that we see right now.
Male versus man. We got some males out here and we got some men out here. It just depends on what category you fall into. Mark Nash in the chat said, the better cook in the relationship will always manifest, but just don't take advantage. I mean, I get it. But if I mess around and marry a chef, I'm gonna let him cook, y'all. I'm going to let him cook. I'm gonna let him do it. I don't have anything to prove.
I'm just gonna marry a chef, so we ain't have to even do that stuff.
I'm gonna start with it.
I want to try your new spaghetti, man. I heard it was so good, baby. Well, let me make it for you, honey. Okay, yes.
The taste tester.
We just eat chicken Alfredo every night.
No.
Yeah, my friend, he calls women who only make Alfredo warriors.
Oh. People be calling them the Alfredo, but depending on how you make it, it's good.
It'd be different every time. But going back to, like, you guys are this delegation conversation, I definitely believe, like, the whole delegation elevation situation. And I literally all day today have been since 8 a.m. interviewing cashiers and interviewing interns for this pop-up tour that I have. So, and just interviewing people to just do my job. Or not to do my job, but to make me not have to do anything by the time that I get to Houston. But it's definitely, like, true. And the whole trust thing, for me, hiring people who you don't know in another state was always, like, really hard for me to figure out. Like, what indicators am I looking for when I'm talking to these people that's going to let me know I could trust them, behind my registers with my money. Like, I could trust them to run through my store. I could trust this cleaning lady to not take my deposit and run. I could trust this building that I'm giving $10,000 to today to not take my money. When it comes to, like, business, the whole thing about trusting people and then also delegating things out so that you can do more, like, it's super, super, super important. And I definitely watched a whole ex-boyfriend of mine not want to delegate any task and want to be like Nate a little bit. And like, I want to learn how to build my website. I'm not paying no one. I'm going to do it because I want to trust no one. I'm going to shoot all my products. I don't trust anyone. I'm going to be my own sales rep because I don't trust anyone. And
Oh no, they kicked her out.
She'll come back, but I get it. That trust thing, it's weird because I've lost money trusting the wrong people, and it's not fun. Being an entrepreneur, you're already, I remember I was new, and I didn't even know what I was doing, okay? And I had paid somebody a good rate to, do some work, and they never did it. I was really bummed. Like, there is no money like losing money you really didn't have, but you believed in and you didn't get what you needed. That hurts.
Hurts.
It really does. I wasn't cool. Sorry, girl.
oh, StreamYard keeps kicking me out.
I know.
I don't even know if am I all the way back?
Yeah, you are. I just kind of jumped in the middle and shared how I know how it feels to mistrust when you are trying to get services done as an entrepreneur. And I lost money because I had to, I still am not going to claim to know everything about how to trust people, how to use your intuition in the right way or watch the red flags. And sometimes you can feel it out, sometimes you can't. But I've had somebody steal. I pay them for a service, and it just never got done. So it's just when you're only working with so much as a new entrepreneur, it's like, that $500 wasn't free money, sir. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, Jaimi, I've had to get on planes to go G-check people who took money from me. Like I
need goons.
Like I had to literally knock at somebody's door at 10 p.m. at night. It was like, I need my $3,000 back. So like it's very real. So now what I do, I think a solution to that is see if you can, always get sort of a recommendation from a friend. So I reach into my network. A graphic designer. Are they trustworthy? Did you like them? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see some work. And that's a way that I've been able to not get robbed. I've been robbed a few times. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much all my life. And
you said it's okay here.
Yeah, people will talk a good game. They'll sell you, but it's really just, that's why I always ask, what's your process? Send me your processes. One of our, with my company, we're launching a thing called Community Build, where we're building communities for people, managing everything for them, their newsletter, their content. We're creating the content for them. We got a private community for you and your members, but we're taking all of that stuff off of their hands and we're managing it. And I just partnered with a project manager and I was like, yo, listen, this is about trust. Y'all got to really trust us because you're giving me the contacts to your network. So, I can't just do this service if I haven't proved it myself. So, it's a crapshoot sometimes. It's a crapshoot sometimes, but it's scary. Another platform that I use when I want to get little menial tasks done is Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com has been pretty good because you have the reviews there. You can see how many examples of work that they have, feedback. So I've been able to get a lot of things done. And it's like, if I could pay somebody $50 to write a 500-word article for me and I save an entire day. And like Malik said, like, if it's not about making money, I don't really need to be doing it. Then I'll pay the $50. That ain't nothing. So it's just working smarter. And there's a lot of different tools now to do that.
I love it. I agree. And all the books I read about wealth and every time I'm hearing something, that's it. They teach their kids to do the same thing. And that's what they're doing. They're not sitting up there doing everything because that's not the capacity, we are working with. I don't know if you guys have read The Big Leap. I know, Keandra, we're reading it at the same time. Queen Cookie, you've been on it. But it does talk about focusing in your zone of genius. And that's what I'm working towards now. We have our excellence zone and our zone of genius. So when we're just doing things that we are capable of doing, when I look at this panel, all y'all capable of doing whatever. I can throw you any task and it'll get done and it'll be decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can use your common sense to get things done, but why are we expending energy being excellent when we can be in our zone of genius and focus on that? So I really do think that learning to put these menial tasks down and learning to trust at the same time. And like you suggested, Mike, go to your network. I do like Fiverr as well, because they do have that. It's a medium where like you can get your money back if something would, or you can fully check out the person. At least it ain't just like, oh, my boy, Joe. And then we don't know what's going on. We on Craigslist or whatever. I've had luck on Craigslist, but I'm just saying. But it's going to allow us to walk in our genius zone. All of the things that we talked about today, moving slower, being in alignment. All of these things are leading us to be the greatest versions of what we can be as we walk on this planet in purpose. Like, we've never been here before. We ain't going to be here again. So I just think it's important we, converse and share, align, and let go, and not just take everything everybody's feeding us, but come up with our own definitions of what life needs to be. You know it best. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So we're at our hour. I do have one small clip, and this is just a quick thing for the guys, especially because, well, gosh, Oshim, I think you're the only gentleman with children, but I was curious about this. So I'll just run it real quick and see what you guys have what you think. So King J Barnett posted this. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me when I post it. So let me just see it really quick. So it's talking about being ready for marriage is more about to shift, and the idea and perspective that you had in mind, and that being ready is an openness and the ability to see parts of yourself that are unseen in your singleness. So Mike or Oshim, you've been married. Frank, you're married. Nate, you want to be married. Malik, I'm gonna need you to.
I'm living vicariously through them. One day.
Do you think that's true? Frank, I'll start with you. Do you think the posture of marriage is about the readiness to show up in a way that is completely different than your singleness, and like being able to face things that you've never seen in that space?
I would say so. And when I saw that, I have a book that I'm reading right now that I want to suggest or recommend. It's called Healthy Relationships 101. I don't know if can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Okay. This book, it talks about not just relationships like marriage, but like friendships and other relationships. And, I feel like you have to learn how to be selfless, both in just regular relationships, but marriage relationships. But you just have to kind of be willing, because I think a lot of times we get into a marriage or aim for marriage, not really realizing what we're getting into, and you'll never be fully ready, but you can be more in a good place to get ready if you can learn how to be content in your singleness. Because if you get married, because a lot of people sometimes get married thinking that this person is going to fix their problems or a hole that they have, and that's not the case. So I feel like you have to learn how to be content in your singleness, and then that's when you, I think, can start to continue to keep pushing forward towards marriage. That way you're not putting unhealthy unhealthy expectations on the other person to fill needs that they just can't, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. King J Barnett, he's a therapist, and he always says married problems are single issues. So it is wise to do as much work as you can. We'll never be perfect. We'll always be growing, but I guess it's just that idea. Nate, you were on the preparation for marriage, and you gave us to be young and to desire to be married. How are you feeling? Because I feel like we had that conversation a year ago. Are you any closer to finding your boo?
Oh no, I'm far away because I've been so focused on my shift. Been so focused on me preparing myself, I didn't realize that these women ain't out here preparing themselves. So, like he said, get right with singleness. I've been telling men and women, both of us, okay? Everybody's talking about, and we've been so tricked with this fairy tale little marriage thing that it don't work like that. So like he said, it's a mental shift. After college, I realized the way I was moving was not going to yield me a positive wife. I can't just wake up one day and I'm not going to be cheating no more. So what did I have to do? I had to get in control of my sexual desires, my sexual urges. So now even dealing with women, if I don't try to have sex with them the first night, they're looking at me crazy at times. And so I'm like, Yeah. So again, that's where I believe that I get my power back at that time. But again, like he said, it's a mental shift. Like everyone's talking about relationship goals. I'm gonna be on this boat with somebody's son. Like that's what I'm hearing all the time.
Me and somebody's son on the boat.
Yes, but I don't hear nobody saying what I'm gonna do for my wife or what I'm gonna do for my husband. I don't hear that, right? So you become the goal, become that goal, and like we've been saying, aligning, your man is going to come. Become that goal, and your woman is going to come. Be you, and they don't come. All the other stuff, and it's easier to identify. And I ain't got time for the drama. And no,
Yeah, listen, a lot of Nate, you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of people get married. One, social pressure, family pressure. I remember when I was married. I remember one of my ex-wife's friends saying, "Wait a minute, you can't get married before me." It's like what, and I felt as a man in a relationship, I felt like the trophy. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't that about me. It wasn't about me that she was madly in love with me. She wasn't. It was just like I'm complete socially now. I'm not going to die alone with cats, right? And I was sitting there like, what the hell did I get myself into after a while? Because I had no concept of a healthy relationship growing up. So I was just like, I guess I'm 31. This is what people do. Let me just do it. And I kind of gave up on love at that point. So I found myself in a unfulfilling marriage, and it did not end well. But I think somebody said this to me. They said a lot of people don't want love. They want help. And and man,
Right there.
That is the truth.
I gotta tell you something. I gotta agree with
Dang.
Nate. These women these days are extremely aggressive to the point where you're right. You go out with them and they're just like, you're not trying to sleep with me, then something's wrong. No, it's just that I'm old enough now where I've I've been able to control my sexual urges through semen retention and everything like that. We could talk about that another time, going a little deep. But I suggested to every man, like, try to go a few months or even a year without random casual sex, and man, you'll make more money. You'll be more focused than you ever were in your life, and it really helped me. And being single now, I'm just focused on my career, my legacy, and my children. And I'm really just taking my time, because a lot of times we make decisions when we're bored, and then you wind up with somebody that you said in the beginning, like, look, I'm not looking for a relationship, but it's Taco Tuesdays and you bored, or it's like, well, I could use a warm body, right? And the next thing you know, she's like, I love you. And you're like, oh. So if you're not fully engaged, I say this: if you're not fully engaged, and Jaimi knows this, I've been around a lot of women because of nightlife, right? Me and her, I met Jaimi in nightlife. We used to throw events and stuff like that. So you get to learn women, and sort of at some point, you have to like respect, what they want, right? And if you can't give it to them, step aside. Like, don't waste people's time. I'm not gonna lie, I did waste people's time in the past when I was younger, but just don't waste people's time. Like, keep it real and be honest. Even if you think it's gonna hurt a person, like, you gotta be honest if you can't deliver on what that person wants. So that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I don't want to respond real quick. Go ahead, Malik. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think the honesty part is a lot of things that a lot of guys, fell with in the beginning, because if you're not trying to get into a situation, like I had a lady I was dealing with, I'm sorry, and we've dealt with each other 10 years off and on. I said, listen, I'm not trying to get married. She got kids. I never met her kids. I don't even want to go down that route. But I was just honest. I like us traveling, having fun, kicking it. That's where I'm at with it. But if somebody comes great in your life, you should run with that, because I'm not in that space right now. And she was like, I never talked to you about being married in a relationship. And I said, cool. We still on our situation, but you just got to be honest. And a lot of dudes just want their cake and eating it too. Like, if you be honest, women don't get mad that you cheat on them. Women get mad that you spend time with the other lady and you tell them all their business. So that's what they get mad about. The kids are their giggles sometimes. But when you sit and you pillow talking and you all of that, that's where the women like you spending time with her, you taking her somewhere, you doing all this with her. So just be honest. And a lot of dudes just don't want to be honest because they want to keep that girl and have this girl on the side. And somebody in this chat said, I'm a player, I'm not a player, I'm single and I'm honest. Period.
I'm not a player, I'm single and I'm honest.
I can talk to who I want to talk to. And I'm honest about when I talk to people. This is what it is. If you don't like it, cool. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, like, and to piggyback on both of y'all, a couple years ago, I was in that position where I didn't know where I was going career-wise. I didn't know where I was going financially, mentally, if I was going to be in LA the next year or not. And I ran into a young lady who I actually did like. I saw a future in, but I knew at that time, because of my previous relationships and the way I knew how to interact with women, I knew I was not ready to give her what she needed. Time, the attention. I was competing with my job. I was competing with other things at that time. And throughout that whole year, I was honest with her from the front, right? And she still wanted to, okay, well, let's just be friends. And she wanted to be in my life. And at the time, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just allow her to continue to be in my life, knowing that it was going to go left, but I allowed that to happen. But the whole time that I kept telling her that I wasn't ready, she assumed that I was telling her this because I wanted to be messy with other women. And at that time, I was celibate. Like, I really was so focused on, like, I have nowhere to lead you right now. I have nowhere to guide you. And as a man, we are some providers and supporters. So, like, why we can't be together? And she cannot get that. And so the only reason I bring this up is because to women, when men tell you things like this, it's not always that they just want to be players, or they're being honest about their situation in their life at that time. Listen to them. They're not all just trying to be a player. Some of them might be trying to be a player. Who knows? But listen to them. Don't try to change them. It's like, okay, well, I can trick you into a relationship. No, you can't. No, you can't.
But the whole thing about that is don't start it in the first place. It's like, you guys lead us into that. Don't hang out, don't go on dates, don't be doing all of that stuff, because eventually, what do you think that means to us? You're spending those times and then you're saying, oh, but I don't have time. But you did have the time.
No, I had the time. I just didn't have the time to. I had the time to spend time with her at night at 9 o'clock when my day was over with, but I didn't have time to check on her at 2 o'clock. I didn't have time to make sure at 7 a.m. I'm sending her that message. I don't have time to really invest what I want to invest into a woman. I didn't have that because I was competing with what's next in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but in my situation, I told her after the first date, and I realized, dang, I'm not ready for this. I got to let you know after this first date, this is where my head is at right now. And I was 100 with her after that first date.
You was 100 though, right? You won 99.
100%.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with that, because shit's getting spicy now.
Was you 99?
I know. I'm sorry. I know you got time right now. My thing is like this. Is it's like, am I not supposed to hang out with women at all unless it's like love? Like sometimes we're just hanging out, right? Like I don't like using the word female in this. I love female company. Let me just say, I ain't trying to be PC right now. I won't get canceled, right? I love female company, right? So like, hey, let's go get a drink, and then we talk. But if I'm honest with you and saying like, right now I'm not looking for a relationship, but I like hanging out with you, they never kind of get that to me. And I can understand that because the pool is a little crazy out here, as far as like availability for men that are not creeps. So they are, I think a lot of times women do think that they can change a man's mind. And that to me gets a little weird, when I'm like very honest, like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I would like to hang out, that.
That's where as women,
it's a mixed message.
What you say?
This is what I do now, though. I swear, and this is why y'all don't ever see me with a woman. If I can't see myself being with you long term in the future before we even start that, I'm not even going to hang out with you once. And so now, where do we go from here then?
That's
you guys are right. Like, you guys have that right feeling to have that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, on our side, again, what do? How do we engage in that? Because there's sometimes I'll go hang out with a girl once or twice. After the second time, nah, I don't know if this is right. Well, shit, I just led you on and broke your heart. Then you know what I'm saying? Well, when is that line? And I open this up seriously for an honest discussion on both sides. We really need to figure this out because, like my guy Kevin Samuels and everybody who's screaming, it's about us actually coming back together. Forget like who's right and who's wrong. How do we actually get to a point where our relationships are healthy and we are back together? Because right now,
Not everybody's screaming.
Well, first
Hold
of
up,
all,
hold up. We bringing up
Wait,
Kevin
don't
Samuels.
bring Kevin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You was on to something. I was like, preach, my brother, preach.
Yeah.
And then you said, well, you know, my man Kevin. Oh God. Oh,
no,
Yeah.
but
oh,
I'm
he
saying
lost me.
the point of Kevin Samuels though is forget him, but forget him and how he presents any of his messages. The point of his message is regardless, black men and black women aren't marrying. How do we get that back to work? Regardless whose fault it is, how do we get that back to we get back on the same page? Because obviously there's men out here who want to be married and there's women out here who want to be married. It's not happening. How do we get it back to happen? That's where our focus needs to
We
be.
get
Is
some
he doing it right?
Luther
Him, all that.
Vandross.
Yes.
Oh man.
Just a quick interjection. Frank, I know you're on the East Coast and you were going to bow out whenever you feel like it. You can. I just wanted to give y'all that option because we just playing right now. But yeah, Keandra, you were going to say something. I think you was going to have to get on Nate just a little bit. And
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, I totally agree with both Oshim and Nate, where they're talking about when a man tells you that he's not ready, believe him. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But I was gonna bring up how oftentimes there's a lot of mixed messages because it's like you hear that, or you know, a man can say, and I've definitely been in this situation a lot, where they'll say that they're not necessarily ready, but then you're engaging in certain things that's like giving the mixed messages where it's like maybe still coming over and watching the movie, or, you know, like there's still the certain dinners, there's still maybe intimacy every now and then, there's still the phone check-ins and, you know, all the things that are still kind of, you know, giving the signal that to me can be interpreted like you still have an interest a little bit. And then there also have been some who have admitted to not being ready, but they're hoping to engage enough to be able to, like, when I am ready, then I can still, you know what I mean, dip back in and reach back out to you and hopefully you'll still be available. And that's not cool. And so my thing was to basically let women know, once he says he's ready, believe him, and then you move on and do what you do and be about yourself and not necessarily allow him to keep that part of your heart if he's not, if he's basically not making it matching up with the fact that if you're not ready, then cool, then that's giving me the space so that I can attract the person who's actually supposed to be here. And I'm not going to do this placeholder type thing.
It'll show in his actions, you know, it'll show in his actions. It'll show in, like, you know, the good morning text and like the, did you eat? What's going on? Like, you know, it'll show in his actions. But, you know, look, man, you know, some I see this guy named Mark Nash or whatever. Just
His feelings.
That turned down more than you ever had in your life. But what I'm saying is this: like, sometimes, man, like, yeah, you just want to kind of see the vibe, you know, like you want to see if there's a vibe. So to me, a date is that, you know, it's just like maybe this is just a date and we're just seeing if each other's vibe. I think I saw a meme that said, you know, women in their 40s show up to dates with wedding dresses on. You know, like, you know, it's just we're seeing each other's vibe. That's it. You know, there's no commitment here. Nobody has to sign any papers. But if somebody's telling you something in a date, I've been on dates with women that are like, I'm not trying to have a relationship at all. Like, I'm focused on my career. So, you know, I just have to respect that. And then, you know, those women are the ones like, oh, so you ain't got time for a brother? You're like, man, that's kind of sexy. She has things to do. Because my boy said this. He said the sexiest thing someone can have is something to do. You know, it's like you don't really want somebody that's always available, you know, unless you want a concubine. You know, like I don't want that. You know, I want a woman that has a, you know, creative head on her shoulders that can match me and more. But, you know, how do you date when you're not looking for a relationship? So it's very weird, you know, but like I said, just be upfront and honest. But I agree with you, Keandra, basically what I said.
Isn't that the point of dating? to like see if you want to be in a relationship. I think the only issue
A
is
relationship. No.
well, that's the
No.
point of dating.
Dating is
and,
to
that,
have
and I
fun.
think that's the difference, and that's what we're trying to
Dating
explain.
is
Like,
that drinks and dinner.
I think
I
dating
mean-
is just to have fun. Like I mean, like I tell you every time I jump, I'm so different because I think like a dude. Like like I date niggas and tell them I don't want to deal with them. Like I leave
There's
niggas in
seasons
DC
for
like,
that.
oh no. But it's like but my season been a long season, no. But like I just think when it comes to like open communication, women, we're very emotional, we're very attached. So yes, when we go on these dates, and then you're like, oh, I don't really want nothing from you, but come cuddle at my house every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I don't really want to fuck with you like that. That's when I tell women, like get on these, like make sure you got a roster ready, like so that you can stay unfocused on that one, like and don't pour too much into nobody yet. Like like give everybody a little piece of rice, like not the box, but just give them some rice, like. And just be good to go. Like, I think that's what I've been living by. It works well.
Keep a roster.
I'm peaceful, happy, like,
Yes.
just keep your roster lit. Because their rosters be lit. Like,
The rosters are hard to keep up with. Oh,
Yo,
No,
so
they're
much
not.
energy.
How
So
do you
much
pronounce your
energy.
Is it Kearney?
Yep.
How do you pronounce your name? Kearney? I'm sorry. I can't even.
Kiera.
Yo, I have a cousin who literally, she has a roster. Don't sleep with none of these dudes. She literally just like, okay, he knows how to fix things. He's good with cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the guy who makes me laugh. Like, it's like ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she knows how to like make things just flow in her favor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think all women should have that. Like, everyone should have, this is the dude who's flying me here. This is the dude who's paying my rent. This is the dude who's buying all my meals. This is the dude who is, you feel me, who I'm paying for his meals. This is the dude who's like, every female should have it. And that's how you stay peaceful. That's how you stay happy. That's how you stay abundant.
Let me ask you this question. Is it okay for a man to have a wife and then also a woman that's good at fucking them, but then also somebody that's good at massaging them? Is it okay for us to have that?
Not when it's married.
We talk about men in relationships. We talk about single people. This is single stuff here. This is single life.
Well, I mean,
now, man, in a relationship, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that I'm operating, in my future, and it could change, but I foresee that my boyfriend or husband, he's going to need to have a side chick, because there's things I'm gonna be I travel way too much. I'm busy. I ain't gonna want to do it to you all the time. And I honestly feel like, yes, you can go ahead and get your little side chick, get your little thing, whatever you need to do, because I just don't have the time for it. But just come on back home when you're ready to come home.
Communication.
But don't be mad when I got a side piece too, because I travel a lot. So I might meet someone that next day. So you just can't be upset with me.
It's a lot of a double standard for a woman though. Like, when a woman does it, you want to call her names and stuff like that. But when a man does it, so I could see that dynamic. But today's woman is different than it was in the 60s and 70s. You can't expect, Susie Homemaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just go on Instagram, you can see women are very sexually liberated right now. And I embrace all of that.
In Hawaii, they're actually it's like getting sent to like for it to be passed or whatever, for I forget the word, but it's basically like polygamy, but for women. That legally now women can marry two men in Hawaii.
Really? Can men marry two women?
Men can polygamy is already it's South Africa. So polygamy is already seen as a thing, but now they're gonna have it to where women can also marry two men legally.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I think that's the article. I was reading it the other day.
One gonna be too stressful for me.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
That's too much energy. I don't want to marry two men. Men are like weird. They're very emotional.
Who? American men?
No, I said men are very emotional.
Somebody gonna die. Somebody gonna die. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess that's the beauty of everybody being different. I was gonna say earlier is I don't think we're asking early enough, because I am dating for marriage. Doesn't mean I won't date, and I've had all kinds of phases, but I'm a grown woman and I don't have the time, meaning I don't have the time or the energy to invest in anyone if we're not even on the same page. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, we meet, you're my husband. Like I'm looking too. I don't know if I like you yet. I don't know if you're funny. I don't know if I like your scent. I don't know how I'm feeling around. There's a whole list of things that I need to go through. But I think for me, that's what makes it challenging, because so many people are in this space, grown people. I'm meeting 40-year-old men talking about, I'm not ready. Like, sir, we got eggs, biological clocks. When you gonna be ready? If I knew what we gonna just find love in our 50s, like is that what we're doing? And maybe that's not so terrible, but I'm gonna tell you now, there's women like me thinking like, okay, I wanted something traditional. The older you get and the way you see the world thinking, I'm like, should I just go have a baby so we can get that out of the way? Then if y'all gonna be ready at 50 something, when you're done with your empires and your money and your women and your confusion and all that, well, let's just holler at me at 55. But if we don't, who gonna give you this baby is what I'm trying to say.
Show up with the Michael Jordan jeans.
Yeah. Like, dang, the to hear men at 40 something be like, I'm not ready now, it concerns my uterus. Okay. I'll be the one to say it. I'm different. I'm not one of those people who want to share and side piece. No, I got energy. I got energy.
You never settled. As long as I've known you.
I'm different, so I can't have nobody hitting my woman. That's crazy. I ain't into that. That's
I never settled.
I can't have another dude hitting it. If it's somebody we kicking it, that's something different.
Yeah, no.
But it's nothing the matter with being 40, Jaimi, and not want to be married at this time. I'm gonna be 45 this year. I got commitment issues. I keep telling you.
Yeah, but I'm letting you
need
that as a woman.
Yeah, tell him me. It don't be them. I got women that want to
just go work out. You gotta. It's something deep. You're gonna have to get to the bottom of the commitment situation.
I know that.
That's
I'm in therapy for that too.
Malik, can I ask you a question? Where are you located?
Huh?
Where are you located?
What is that?
Are you in Texas?
I'm in Las Vegas.
Oh, you're in
Las Vegas.
Oh man.
I got commitment issues.
That's all I need to say, man. You in Vegas?
And he looked peaceful.
So
unless he's coming to bring this brother some peace and make his life easier and better, he don't see no point to settle down.
I don't know.
No, it's me. You know, it's just cognitively I haven't found that mate yet, you know. Because it's not all about looks for me. I think looks are overrated sometimes. It's a cognitive thing. And I just and you know what? My man in Texas told me this 2 months ago in San Antonio. He said, Malik, some women just want to be housewives and can help elevate you by giving you game as being a housewife. And I never thought about that.
That's true.
So I always had to think about somebody either, like how you said, being motivated and having her own thing going on. But you're like, Malik, some women are great housewives that can help elevate you also.
It's very true.
Like, wow,
I'm a housewife.
I never put that into a perspective ever. I never put that into a perspective.
But that's a good point. When you have a certain mentality and you don't think that they be clowning me all the time. I be wanting to be a housewife. I want to submit and all that stuff. But they be laughing at me because the language that I use. But no, it's true. It's just like,
you're not submitting to nobody.
See, it's just, I don't know why you think that. I have my own mind. I know what submission means, but I also have my own mind. I think it, I'm down. I get it. I get what it's saying. It's not, I don't look at it as a laying down of like all of my truths and, but I know how to let him make that decision. I'm going to stay quiet. I said my piece. He want to do that. When it don't work, we going to do my way next time. And he going to be able to see. Ain't that what don't you need to live your own life too as a man? Like, I don't have a problem with everything being my way. I got it. If you want to, I could submit to, that's kind of like what I mean. So it's like, it's a partnership too. That's the same thing when you have a business partner. Like, why have one if you're going to be driving the whole thing? If you want to let them, that's who you want to hire, or that's who you want to, cool. I said what I had to say. Now, if it don't work, next time I get the more votes in the pot. And that's what it is. Like, I'm cool with working in tandem, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little confusing out here for me, especially when we were talking about I'm not ready and we just want to, y'all be loving our company so much. You love us. So it is confusing when you want to like be in the space, be around, text all morning, and then it's like, but you don't want to. It's just confusing. It's confusing. I should have been born 5 years just a little earlier.
It's not confusing. It's honesty. You know what I mean? Just being honest, because like, why would I say I'm ready and I'm a commitment? And I know me, like Jaimi, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I get down.
I know.
I don't want to be the dude. I don't want to be the dude that is in Taiwan and got the wife at home and the kid over here. That's corny to me. If you're gonna get married, be married and be married. You know what I mean? Like that's not where I'm at in my life right now. You know, like some of these wealthy white men be having kids in different countries and the wife at home and the wife that's too much. You know, so I stay single and I'm not hurting nobody. If I'm single.
Look,
but is that how you foresee yourself, Malik, is having kids in all these different countries?
No,
like is that
spread the seed, my brother.
Right now, I got a group of friends that I go out the country with 2 trips a year, and we go to 4 cities a year every year. If I go to the DR, I'm not going to stay faithful. Like it's not happening. I know me. I know me as a person. So why would I put myself in a situation right now? Just right now, I'm not saying it's going to be like this all the time. But why would I be with a girlfriend? Then I know the homies. You're not going to tell me I can't go nowhere because I'm a grown man. So that's not happening. Because you can go somewhere with your friends. But why
I want you to get rid of that story.
What?
I want you to get rid of that story, thinking that
this is why I'm in therapy.
Thinking that you're gonna have a woman who's gonna try to ball and chain stuff is like. Not every woman is gonna be like, "Oh my God, stay home, don't go." Boo, go.
No, but you missed the fact if he goes, he's going to end up cheating on her just because of the environment.
Is that what you were saying?
No, he is.
Why? Why, Malik? Why do you have to cheat on her?
Because it's the environment.
It's the Dominican.
Don't you understand why I'm single?
No, why? Do you need to cheat on your girl? Like, why?
I'm not cheating on anybody, though. I'm not cheating on anybody.
You just said you're going to go to the DR and cheat. I need to know why you need to go to the DR and cheat.
Help me out, Ocean. Help me out.
No, we need to hear he's a married man.
As Dave Chappelle said, don't bust that nut just yet. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Commercial break.
Malik, does it scare you? Does it scare you to be with one vagina? Is that what it is?
You know what scares me? I think I'm gonna be labeled in a box once I'm married. I think I'm gonna be in a box. And I'm just a person that's free spirited all the time. And I just think it's gonna be like soccer with the kids, Vans, and I just like Target on Saturdays, and it's just like something that it just.
But you don't go to Target now, so why?
Exactly, Target doesn't even exist in your world, so you're just making up these ideas of marriage that don't even like resonate to you.
This is why I'm in therapy talking about my issues.
He's doing the work.
Commitment issues.
He's doing the work.
Hey, I got a problem.
Yeah, do the work because I do know you and you deserve someone good. But just for an example, Queen Cookie just said, I'm not finna go to Target. I'm trying to travel and kick it. Ain't that the kind of woman you want? So they're out here.
Oh no, it's a lot. No, it's a lot.
I don't go to Target either, Malik.
No Target. Look at that. No Target.
I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning because we travel it.
It's out there. So let that play in your mind.
Out there. But it's just some issues I gotta get handled in here. You know what I mean? I never seen a healthy relationship. So as a kid, a lot of your issues come from childhood. So as a man, I've never seen a healthy relationship. My dad just got married at 62. So, so I've never seen like a healthy relationship. I'm just letting you know. My dad just got married.
Jaimi is pissed. I just want you to know, Malik. Jaimi is not encouraged.
Not giving me hope.
The uterus is done at 62.
Uterus is fried up.
Yeah. I just, that hits hard. I don't want to hear that. That's scary.
Yo, Malik, I'm not going to front. My dad, he moved to Atlanta, and it's, bro,
your man is like 65 years old, drop top Corvette, the whole retirement kit, you know. And yo, these women, I went to a bar with him. This woman was just staring him dead in his face. Like he has options at 65. And these women are like 50 years old, 55 or whatever like that. He's turning them down. Like they'll come to his house and be like, nah, I don't like her. I'm like, yo, dad, she's all right. You know, I personally, I'm not afraid of commitment. My thing is being afraid of somebody that I don't have a connection with, right? Like the last person that I had a connection with, like strong, like we couldn't be together because she moved away or whatever like that. She lives out of the country, but you know, she's into the same things I'm into: motorcycles, MMA, you know, all these things. And we just vibed and kicked it. And then you got an opportunity abroad. She was like, you know, maybe we can make it work. And I was like, it's not going to work when you live in damn near, you know, she's in Asia. I was like, I'm not even going to get my hopes up that high. But I think if you have a connection with somebody, Malik, like you'll never be bored. Like you said, you don't go to you don't go to Target anyway. So your life will be based on both of y'all needs and wants. So, you know, commitment, it takes some time, brother. I'm not going to tell you to rush into it. You're doing the right thing. You in therapy.
I'm not rushing. You ain't got to
Don't rush.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm like your pop.
No, he's a player, bro.
So you don't want kids, Malik? No kids.
I do. I kind of got like a situation I want my kids to go. So like I'm crazy up here, man. Like, listen, I got a different how my outlook is.
That's okay. It's not crazy.
I got to get my nanny money up. You know, it's a lot. Listen, it's a lot. The nanny got to travel with us.
Malik, 2 is better than 1. What if your girl got her bread up? I mean, come on,
I love it.
These women are doing it these days, bro.
Honey.
I know women are killing it, of course. Yeah. I mean, the white couples always, I tell my cousin and his wife, I'm like, individuals that are Caucasians, they save one salary, use one salary, and say that one salary and buy properties and things of that nature. Y'all both making $200,000, just save one to live off of one. It's not like the white people got the blueprint; they just do smart things. You know, like we both getting it. Let's save a salary. Let's buy a property with your salary. Let's buy crypto with your salary. Let's keep every year just progressing. I haven't found that person yet. You see what I'm saying? I haven't found.
Fair enough. We're gonna work on that inner dialogue.
That's the best comment. That's the best comment.
That's the Paula White angels.
I'm sending angels from Africa to stop you from going to Europe.
Help him, Tony. Tony's been in chat. He's been married 20 years, so he knows a little something about being hitched. And he's happy.
Good.
They're having a ball. I remember that interview. That was very, very encouraging. I
love them.
So the only man on this panel that's not single is Frank.
Frank.
Man, I love it.
How'd you do it, Frank? You see how rare you are these days?
A rarity.
And I'm glad I got married when I did. I'll say that.
Yeah, you probably got a perfect one at the perfect time. That was a struggle for all of us.
God bless your heart, brother.
Look. I mean, but was it hard for you, Frank? Did you feel like you had to have all your ducks in a row? Because I'm not going to lie, I get that a lot. Like, I meet decent guys, you know, I'll date a little teeny bit, you know, just a little teeny bit. But I do hear that whenever there is interest, it always becomes that I'm not ready. I don't have a house. I don't have nanny money. I don't know how to.
You'll never be ready. That's the thing.
Talk to me, Frank.
Like, first of all, you'll never be ready. I mean, you can do as much as you can. And I encourage, anybody who's thinking about, marriage, do a lot of self-work as you can with yourself, but you'll never get to that point. And like a lot of my friends who have kids, they tell me the same thing with kids. Cause they be talking to me like, bro, when you gonna have kids? And I'm like, bro, I ain't ready. I want to da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, you ain't gonna never be ready. So we have to let go of this ideal of like, you're going to get extremely perfect before you get married. It's going to be a continued journey until you die. You're going to continue trying to keep better. But as far as marriage goes for me, I mean, it's kind of a cheesy thing, but it was just one of those things where I had prayed for my wife back at my first college. I was just praying a simple prayer of like, you know, she ain't got to be all these. I mean, I got my preferences, but she ain't got to be perfect or anything like that. Just, you know, as long as somebody that loves and respects me, they could be in any shape, size, color, whatever. It don't matter to me. And then fast forward, you know, God brought my wife to me through UMKC, where I did got my theater degree, and she went there as well. And we met like that. And she was taking me home because at that time I was catching 2 buses to get over to that side. So after we would have rehearsals, you know, the buses would stop running. So she would take me home in the car, and we sit outside and just talk. And I remember one day I was just sitting there in the passenger seat, and this street light that flickers on right in front of my house that I was staying in at the time. And I just feel like I heard God said, "That's your wife." And I'm just like, that ain't my plan. My plan was to get married like pretty much every other dude once I didn't have my experiences and I'm like 40 or 50, then I'm ready to settle down. But I was just obedient to that. And, you know, that she got the same confirmation, and we just, you know, did it from there. Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't wait till 40 or 50 because
yeah, my plan versus God's plan is always different. Yeah.
I be praying for mine, so you better be praying for me, baby. Wherever you
are. One thing I will say about it though is men and women, when they're praying for whoever their spouse is, be ready and prepared and open to who God says it is, because it might not be the perfect person or your ideal of a perfect person. It might be because with me, with God and when God brought my wife to me, we're almost complete opposites, almost in every way. I wanted somebody who was just like me, and I was dating somebody, not at that time, but like when I was younger, I was dating somebody who was basically a female version of me, and I thought that was perfect. I was like, oh yeah, but God knows how we need to have people who we're linked up with that will challenge and make us better people and bring the kingdom forth. So you might be married to somebody who ain't somebody that you would normally talk to or normally you know, be into. So you have to be open to that. Be careful what you pray for. I'm not saying that like in a fearful way, but like be open, because he might give you somebody that's going to rub you the wrong way so you can get your character better, and then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be open to what you pray for in that regard.
Yo, Frank, God keeps sending me good people, but they don't live in the same state as me. That's the problem.
Oh, that's a small
Maybe I
thing.
need to tweak my prayers a little bit.
You gotta move. That sounds like you just gotta move, or maybe they can come to you.
Yeah,
that's an easy solution.
Texas or Georgia, because apparently that's where the women are. Because man,
I got a friend who flew out to Texas actually to meet a girl that he felt that God was telling him to go meet. It didn't work out. It still ain't. I mean, they still communicate. But when he did this, he was same thing. He was like, "Bro, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I promise you, God is telling me to go." I just say that to encourage you, bro. Maybe you gotta move. You gotta move. And that's another thing. Just because love is proximity now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like who you run into, like, and so a fear that I have now is like, if I run into a girl and it may be the one, I'm thinking, well, what if I still haven't ran into the one? You know what I'm saying? Because I just ain't been here, I ain't been there. Hey, get out that state, go see her.
Is it always proximity though, or is that another way that we limit the possibility of how things come to us?
I think it's the latter. Like I'm saying, we end up falling for or marrying. I mean, a lot of marriages develop in, you know, co-working type of situations, or maybe from college or school. But that's what I mean by proximity. Like if I went to University of Montana, I might have found my wife there. But what if I went to USC? Could have found my wife there. You know what I'm saying? So and I guess it's not settling, but it's just that's what we ran into. Maybe it's just God's plan for us, you know. But in those situations, who knows? God may want you to break barriers and do something different. You know, I always believe that. You know, if God's telling you, He may really be telling you something.
I don't think no man here said the single brothers didn't say they didn't want to be married. You know, they didn't say that. So I don't think we're anti-marriage, you know, and being the one that was married here, you know, a while ago, and then I was in a long-term relationship. It's just finally knowing myself a little bit more, you know, for the next time I do decide to go that route, it's going to be a lot better, you know, because I know myself on a deeper level. I'm in touch with God.
financially better, all these things. When I got married, I was just like started my company. I was working with, this big company, had a lot of pressure on me, and I wasn't as emotionally intelligent and available. So I think this next time, I think it's going to be great. I look forward to getting married again. I do, just not right now. Gotta take a few trips first. You know what I'm saying?
And go do some nasty things.
Where are you gonna go? You gonna go to the DR?
No.
Hey,
not
DR, boy. I just got back from the DR.
Let me mute his mic. I'm playing.
I downloaded
what was
this.
Colombia too, man. Colombia is a great place, man, for men.
I met some dudes out there in Dominican. They was from Colombia, and they actually had a sex toy business, an online sex toy business, and that's all they kept telling us. We ain't got nothing in Colombia. It ain't about the cocaine. It's about the women. We got all the women. Come down here if you want the women.
Yeah, so this is a good place, man. Sawyer Royal Oats, but definitely, man. Someday I do.
Mine's has been sold, brother. Listen.
Like at some age, come on, y'all.
I just want somebody like I don't like overt sexiness. Like I'm not into like when dudes want to go to strip clubs. I'm like, oh hell no.
No.
If they got good wings, I'll go. But like I hate strip clubs. I hate overt. I don't like the fake booties and all that stuff. I don't do that whole. I'm going to Miami tomorrow, but I don't like that whole like Miami look where it's just like the pink tube dress and it's like fake everything. I like a natural woman who's into like dope music and all that stuff. But like it's just hard because I feel like a lot of the dope brothers, like they'll scoop them up in a minute, like they all gone. Like it's just except for the ladies on this panel, y'all are all beautiful, in your own way, But like they scoop them up real quick. The dope woman gets scooped up real quick. They stay on the market for 32 days and it's a wrap. Like they take them off. So now you're kind of like, and I think it's the same for women as well. Like you gotta be, this is why you gotta be aligned. Because when that hole opens up, it's like the universe is like, all right, I'm gonna make this happen. Like you going to the airport, he's going to the airport, she's going to the airport. You made it happen. When you're not aligned, you meet the person that you can't stand.
Yeah, that's serendipity. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that, alignment. Sometimes I think too, and this is just kind of a question, some of these women that I see so many guys going after, there's nothing wrong with them, but then I hear on the other side, I want this in a woman, that in a woman, that in a woman. But the women that a lot of guys are after don't embody those qualities, but they do have a look that all their boys are excited about. They get the kudos for having the baddie. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Because, that was my vice growing up. It was just like, yep, she going to be with the fine. Like, I was with the man on campus, whatever campus I was on. Like, it was just like, I love me a fine man. So I understand just that tendency where it's like, whatever. Because, Frank got me a little scared because I don't like that. Oh, it may not be what you think. That scares me because I've had guys tell me, I feel like God is telling me, you're my wife. And I'm like, no. I'm scared.
You want Idris Elba and you wind up with Billy Joe Thornton.
I'm with you, Jaimi. I want what I want. And I'm not marrying nobody I don't think is sexy. Because for me, then I'm not going to want to be in the bedroom with that. Like, I want to be in the bedroom with who I'm trying to, like, get it in with. And I have to be attracted to you in a certain type of way. And so it's not always about, and I know it's not always about aesthetics for people, but when you're choosing your life partner and you're not sexually compatible or attracted to them, it's important. And I want to be thinking my man is bum. Like, and that's like, I have to. It just doesn't work any other way.
I'm with you, girl.
Settling is expensive.
Ooh.
Amen.
Settling is expensive. Trust me, I know. It's expensive. Like you be in court like, what? Why didn't I just go home that night? Fucking that brown liquor, this is why I stopped drinking so much. It's like, damn, you make your bad decisions, So, you got to be very intentional. But I agree with Cookie, like, it's real, like, don't settle. Like, don't. don't settle. I don't care. It's like, because a lot of people, they just give up. Like, I know somebody right now that's getting, I'm not even gonna go there. But
somebody about to be on blast.
no, they literally settle because they were just like, yo, I'm 30, I gotta, nah, I'm out. You got a job, 401k? Good. Your teeth? Okay, let's go. And I was like, okay, everybody was just like, okay, they're nice. You can see that, but that's not their type,
Yeah.
But some people don't want to die alone. And I understand that as well,
I mean, I think for me is more of a cognitive thing. I've dated some beautiful actresses, B-listers, and things of that nature, and they had a lot of they were not, how can I explain it? Self-esteem issues, if that makes sense, right? So with me, it's more, I don't care. I mean, I do care what the woman looks like. I'm not gonna say like that, but like, I've dated the most attractive woman that didn't bring anything to the table. So for me, it's just like I had to look at myself in the mirror, and it's like I've always dated people that were just dependent on me. So I have to be with somebody that's has something going on. I don't care if they're in nursing school, and I really want to date somebody that's like nursing school, principal, like regular stuff for me. Like, I want like 9 to 5 or just something that not in my world, So that's what I'm really trying to manifest and bring towards me, or a lawyer, or a doctor, or something that I haven't, dated or whatever.
Malik, you all over the place. Go sit down.
Cookie is done with you, Malik.
No, I mean,
I want a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or something
saying,
like
you gotta
that.
understand. My last three relationships, I've taken care of the whole household. I took care of everything. She didn't have to do nothing but wake up and get dressed. So I need somebody, like you said, Cookie, somebody that's bringing something to the table, so we're equally yoked and we're building collectively. It's hard when you just got everything on you. You got all the car notes, the house. I got a secretary. I got an office. Like, this is not. I was living in LA. Like, and we still got to go out. I still got to take clients out. It's not like, like it don't stop. So if I need somebody like, if we go on trips, I know I got to take care of everything. But if I go on trips and pay for the hotel and flights, can you get the dinners and drinks? Like, I need somebody.
Yeah, she can. You got to find the right one. Yes, she can. She could do more than that. She could get the Ubers too.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Like, all right, I got the hotels and tickets. Can you get everything else there? I've never had that. I've never been Dutch in my life. I've never had those type of things.
Damn.
I know some guys that go, like, they go out with no money. Like, I'm like, what? How do you even do that?
Yeah, go to work.
What? She picked the bill. I don't even know how to ask if the bill comes. Like, what do you do in that conversation? Like, but it's dudes in LA that do that. Like, y'all ladies know. I ain't saying it happened to y'all, but y'all know. Y'all girlfriends that said some things.
Yeah.
Well, I got to bounce, but I will say this about like marriage and long term. My last relationship was 8 years, and we had like, we were just sort of following like the, got to get the fairy tale house, and like, we worked so hard to get a house, right, in this dope ass neighborhood, and like, this was going to be it, and it did not bring any more additional happiness because we weren't happy. The relationship was, we weren't connecting, so it's, it really just comes down to, in my opinion, and I'm gonna end on this, it just, the vibration, you guys are on the same vibration, or able to talk things out. Two people with calm heads, and you have similar interests and similar goals, is gonna work. It's gonna work eventually. If you have different goals, she's moving in this direction. You trying to have good credit. She don't give a shit about the credit. You like a clean house, or or she likes a clean house and you dirty. Like, it's not gonna work. Like, you are gonna be at war with each other. So look, man, I have fun tonight, guys.
Thank you.
But let me take my old ass to bed. Yo, I'm gonna follow you on your Malik Platts on the gram. I'm gonna follow all you guys on the gram. I'll follow.
Yeah, you guys should definitely connect. Like,
absolutely.
Y'all are two connected connectors that should connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. We done went in 2 hours, y'all. Mike, you could, I always, tap out whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Yes,
Have a great
love you.
All right.
We done
Hope we
went
can do this
in.
again. This was fun.
Yeah,
This is
we
fun,
went
yeah.
in 2 hours. This was the first time doing this, so I definitely want to do it again. We talked about delegating and getting help and alignment and all these things. So I always make sure that's where I'm at before I do anything. But this has evolved to the space where we can do more. And this was so fun to like try and put effort towards tonight and do. You guys are amazing. I know for you East Coasters it's late. I know Keandra, you got an early flight in the morning. But I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, this was fun. So season 3 is going to come up soon when I get that together. But we're going to take a pause on King's Speak and Queen's Glean so we can gear up for season 3. And yes, do more things like this. Maybe in the interim too, where I know on Instagram, you can have 4 people now where you can talk. But I think these conversations are important because somebody out there can relate to something where they learn, move forward, and transform a little bit. So, yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. No, this was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Shout out
Much
to
love
the
to the
chat.
chat.
Right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Deacon, Tony, Mark Nash with his crazy self. Thank you.
Mark Nash.
He out of control. You ready to go to the phone on him? Like, yo, what are you talking about?
Yo, he's so funny. And he just be sitting at home in the nursery with his daughter, putting her to bed while he just listens to us go.
That's funny.
Anybody have anything in closing to say before we bounce? Any projects? Anything? Just wanted to leave the floor before we leave.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jaimi. This was fun.
Yes.
No, Centali. Centali is 100 years of success in Italian.
Oh, well, cheers to that. Centali.
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 I'm gonna start saying that. Like, what you talking about, bro? I know how to speak Italian.
Italian.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm well versed. I'm sorry. Okay, I won't use those words. I won't speak Italian again, and then she will never know. I really don't know.
I got it from the Godfather, so don't worry about it.
Oh,
there you go.
My gosh.
Yeah, and I had to keep rewinding and then pronouncing it. Pronounce. Okay, I'm gonna use that.
I feel you.
I love it. I'm here for it. That's a country I want to go to.
I'll be in Houston in a couple weeks. You already know that. You know,
I'll be ready to go out.
3 weeks is my city right there. So.
Oh, are you gonna be here for my birthday, June 9th? Because it sounds like it.
Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be June 9th. Probably, you know what? I might as well come after the fight. So yeah, I probably will go from Miami to Houston. So I might make that happen.
Okay, because I don't have any plans.
Well, gear up then. Get your liver
I'm up.
ready.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Much love to all of you. I don't hit you up individually. I'm so glad I got to see your faces, but thank you so much for this. And until next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.